Hey, it's a day 7 of my render journey and day 2 of my 30 days challenge. As you saw on day 1, we created a 3D donut model and added icing on the top. Today, we'll move on to adding sprinkles for detailing and then apply shaders to the donut. Let's start by adding sprinkles on the icing. To do that, we'll use geometry nodes. We don't need the left panel. So let's close it. Now by selecting the icing from the viewport, we will add a new geometry node setup. In geometry nodes, go to point and select distribute point on faces. Add that in between group input and group output. Now you can see there are some points created above donut. As you can see, icing mesh is not visible because of distribution, but we need icing mesh too. So we will add join geometry by shift A and add to our connection. Let's model our sprinkle, which will replace those distribution points. To do this, let's add a cylinder mesh to our scene by both sides for clean edges and to make it look more like real sprinkles. Create them in different sizes so the sprinkles look better. And, and for the last one, we'll add slide bend. Create a collection for the sprinkles we have modeled and tag that collection into our geometry nodes. Make sure to check the boxes. Next, add an instance on point node to our setup. Connect the collection to the instance and don't forget to check the big instance option. But as you can see, the sprinkle scale is not proper. We need to fix that. This is happening because the scale of our model sprinkle isn't updated. Once we apply the scale to main sprinkle, the issue will be resolved. We also need to rotate the main sprinkle by 90 degrees and make sure to apply rotation as well, so it updates correctly in the geometry nodes. Now let's move to weight paint. Since we want sprinkles only on the top of the icing, not on the sides. For that, we need to paint our icing. Once that's done, go to Data tab where the weight paint data is saved. Let's rename it to Sprinkle Density. Then, in the density factor, add named attributes node and in the float input, type the same name we just gave to weight paint. Let's adjust the density mix. And for randomizing the sprinkles on the donut, we need to add rotate vector. For that, go to utilities, rotation, rotate vector. Place it in between distribution point on faces and the instance on point. Then create a new node from rotation called random value. It's time to adjust the rotation for randomization in the random value node by changing min and the max value. As you can see in the viewport, our sprinkles now have variations, which looks good. The tau, the value represents 360 degrees, and that's what I have used here. Let's move on to texturing now. Select the main donut and go to materials tab. We'll give the donut basic brownish orange shade and apply pink shader to icing on the top. Then just play around with the specular roughness setting. Lastly, we need to add color to our sprinkles. First, let's assign a shader to one sprinkle mesh. Then select the other sprinkles, shift plus select the one with shader and link material to all sprinkles. Have it. Now let's switch to shading tab to create randomizing shader for our sprinkles. Connect the object info random output to the base color. You will see black and white random effect. Next, add color ramp in between and then add some random colors. I'll pick 4 to 5 different colors for our ramp and then let's look pretty good. Let's render and see the final output, and that's it. Our donut is now complete with icing, sprinkles and some fun random colors. I think it turned out pretty great. This wraps up day 2 of 30 days challenge.